Hi everybody, it's crazy, it's Monday, and it's time for the UPBGE video of the week. Now before I get started, gotta give a shout out to my trusted because you guys rock. To my crazy fam, I love you guys. And to my patrons, thank you for your continued support. Now we are up to episode number 60. Yes, 60. And last week we left off with tutorials. Now we actually get to do one. Okay, now what we were reading before was actually to help you understand how animations work, how you can use them, and just a basic explanation of what each thing does. Okay, so now we're actually going to get into some hands-on stuff, so stick around. Alright, so I'll go ahead and read off here, but what we're going to do is, if you come over to me, kick my page over here, yep. If you come over to your BGE 0.2.5, you can do this in regular Blender as well, but I'm just doing it in 0.2.5 because it's a newer version for the 2.x series. Okay, so if you come in, you hit open, and you come here down to here, you're going to go into your where you downloaded the book from. You're going to go to the files, and then you're going to go to chapter 4. If yours is different than mine, that's okay. It's wherever you put the programs that you got when you went to the book, because it has a thing in the thing. It's not check the description. It's all down there. You can grab it and come back and replay the video and enjoy. Okay, but this is where we're on, and this is most of the stuff in this tutorial in chapter 4. So we're going to come all the way down here to the bottom where it says tutorial Moo base. Okay, so when we click that, Moo is going to show up. So, and as you see, this is a little bit different, okay, because it's set up for game. Okay, if you want to, you can easily put in the I want to say keyframe, but it's the play button. We'll do that. Okay, let me see if I can find it. The timeline, there we go. You can put your timeline here. Make sure it's set to 1. We're not going to need 4,000, so you can literally just bring it down to about 250, whatever. This says 5,000 keyframes. We're going to go ahead and do 240 because that's more than what we will need. You can actually zoom it on down. So you can grab these little pillets right here, and you can actually adjust this. A lot of people don't know that. It's very simple. But when you're playing around with it, you forget. And I forget a lot, and I'm like, how do you do this? And somebody says, really? Come on, crazy. You've been doing this how long? Yeah, well, you forget. You know, and if you're constantly trying to do something and you wind up forgetting, it's a little bit hard. Okay, so get your timeline set up, but you're still going to have your logic bricks up here to work with. Okay, so you want to keep that. So just add a little button by pulling this little thing. See how it has a little plus mark on any one of them little dash cornered lines? Okay, everybody calls them arrows, but I just call them dash lines. You can do it anywhere. Okay, if you want to move one this way, you can. You want to move one that way, you can. You can do left, right, up, and down. Okay. Just remember, if you have a split, like right here, okay, this one will be separate, but this one right here will be the same. Okay. Now this right here is just your information keys and all your other information that you will need that will help you later on in the game development deal. But what we're going to do is, since we're not using any Python right now, okay, we're only going to do some animations. Let's see here. I am actually going to, yeah, this is rigging and stuff. Okay, so this right here uses the this is called the toon model, okay, to model stuff. But you also have your sensors and stuff, your logic bricks. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, no frames were hurt in the making of these tutorials. In the following pages, we are going to make a character walk, interact with objects, and have some nice facial expressions for you to play with. For the model, we will be using the monkey Moo. We cleaned up the original file, removing the shape keys and the animation cycles previously created. You can get Moo in his fresh state in the chapters, tutorials, tutorial Moo base blend. Okay, and that's where we brought him up. He's sitting right here. Okay, now pre-tutorial. In this short pre-tutorial, we will animate the camera rotation and the camera focal length as an opening effect for the game. The whole tutorial is based on using the action actuators to control the Moo animations. As we explained previously, there are different action types that can be used. Regardless of action type, the way to use the actuator is the same. So we will start with a very simple action and progressively go over more complex topics such as bone and shape key animations. So stick around, we're going to be doing more. Alright, so open the base file from the book, chapter 4, tutorial Moo base blend. Now we did that right at the very beginning of this video because Moo is sitting right here. Okay? Alright, so change the current keyframe to 1. So most of the time, the keyframe, if you look over here, they used to sit at 0. Okay, so if yours is sitting at 0, go ahead and just get one more up and put it right on 1. Because it doesn't really start at 0, it starts at 1. Okay, you can start it at 0, but, you know, it really doesn't matter. Okay, a lot of people like 1 because, hey, 1 is 1, right? 0 is 0. If you're doing a lot of tutorial programming, you'll want to set it at 0 because most programming languages start at 0 as the first one. Okay, that's where that all comes in, so you can understand that. But for this effect, we're not doing any Python right yet, and so we're just going to put it to 1 to make sure it sits at the 1 mark. Okay, like they say. Select the camera object, and to easily do that, just right-click, okay, on the camera. Okay, as you see, you've got the camera view, but you're in camera view. Okay, when you first come into this. So zoom out with your scroll wheel, okay, scroll wheel in and out, okay, and then all you gotta do is just click on the little bar right here on the side, and guess what? Now you have the camera. So you don't have to worry about, oh, where's the camera at? Where's the camera at? It's right here in front of you, okay? If you're working with 2.79, it may not show up this way, and if it doesn't, just, you know, hold down your scroll wheel and move it around, and it'll take you immediately out of camera mode if you just click it. See, now I'm out of camera mode. Okay, and then you can just click this little bar up here, okay, like that, okay, and then just hit 0 again, and you'll notice that it's lit up, okay. All right, so in the camera panel, in the properties editor, set the focal length to 10. So we got to find the focal length, which is over here. And if you loaded this one up, it should look almost exactly like this, except for you had to add your timeline. Okay, so if you scroll this all the way up, you'll see that you're now in camera. Okay, and you're going to go to its focal length. Okay, that's this right here. Okay, this one says the focal length right now is 121.53. Okay, yeah, I don't want that. Okay, you want to set the property to 10. So just hit 10. Okay, you'll notice that now your camera's way away. It's okay, don't worry about it. Right, because what we're going to do is we're going to be doing more stuff. Okay, with the mouse over the value, press I to keyframe it for 1 frame. So, with your mouse over it, okay, all you have to do is hit I, the letter I, and you'll notice you'll get an insert keyframe menu. Okay, now what we want to do is key it for 1 frame, which is the first frame. You want to do location, okay, because we're only going to zoom it in, I do believe. If not, you can always change this one by adding the rest. I mean, all you have to do is come back and hit I again, and you can do everything. You can do location, rotation, and scale, or you can do location, rotation, and scale, so on and so forth. But we're just going to do location, and we've already got our keyframe set, so we're not going to worry about it. Just click off if you did it again with me. Alright, and so go to keyframe 30. So now we're going to, instead of trying to find 30 on here, all you really have to do is go right here, okay, click it, and type in 30. That will save you from having to try to adjust it. I used to be the type of person that had to get it right on 30 right here. And, you know, I would always watch this to make sure it can go up to 30, because you can actually, you know, move it, as you see down here at the bottom. It will show that that's moving. So you can actually put it to 30 manually if you feel like it, but sometimes it's just easier to hit 30. Alright, so change the focal length to 100. Okay, so now we're going to come back up here to camera, go up here to focal length, and we're going to hit 100. Now watch. we're back into view again. Okay. Set a new keyframe value for this frame. So now we're going to since we're in camera view, all you have to do is hit I and hit location. Now, when you adjust this, guess what? The camera itself is going to move. Right now it won't, because if you hit play, it will. No, not even. It's going to make a lot out of me. Oh, because you're in camera view. But if you're in play view, it'll show different. What we did was set the initial focal length for the camera to animate over a specific range, 90 meters over 30 frames, or 1 second. Okay, or something like 1 second, I guess. 30 frames per second. Alright, so if you play back the animation in Blender, Alt-A, so let's go over here, we'll click it again, we'll hit Alt-A, and it should do, but it's not. So, I don't know why it's not. 0.2.0 is kind of funny sometimes. If you hit play, P, nope. Oh, no wonder why I am not in the game engine. There we go. Now let's hit P. Yeah. Alright, so if you hit Alt A, well, either way, we're going to continue on. If you play back the animation and hit Alt A, you can see the camera zoom changing quickly over time in frames. I don't know why it isn't doing it. That's driving me nuts right now, because that's what it usually does. Weird. Alright. However, if you enter the game engine, the camera is not animated. See, so we're in the game engine, and it isn't animated. So that's why we still need to hook this animation with logic brick. So with the camera still selected, we need to do the following. So we got the camera selected. We're going to go over here. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit. We can tab. If you hit tab, no, I'm sorry, T. You hit T? No, N. Yeah. Hit N, and it will make that go away, okay? Sometimes it appears on the right. That's for European. If it appears on the left, that's actually American. But this one is a European build, so guess what? Yeah. This one was saved in a European style, so it will pop up on the left. If yours pops up on the right, cool, you got a better version than I did. Alright, so we're in the camera. You can tell by right here. Okay, that's the camera setting. And let's see. The camera still selected. We need to do the following. Okay, create an always sensor. So let's do right here to the sensor. Hit always. Very simple. You ain't gotta do nothing. Okay, I usually do the true level triggering, let it do it at every frame, so that way it can see. You don't have to. It says leave the default option so it runs only once. So we're gonna leave it only once. Alright, create an action actuator. Change the frame range from 1 to 30. So we're gonna go to the action actuator. Okay, which is right here. It could be anywhere on it. As long as you've got it, you're doing good. The animation or the there we go. Thank you. Okay, let's scroll down just a little bit so we get this in frame. Let's scoot this up just a hair. Okay, so what it's saying is you're going to make an action actuator and change the time from 1 to 30, because that's what it's going to do automatically. It's going to do that. Alright, now set the camera action as the actuator action. So you're just going to come over here and go camera action. Okay. This is the action we created by keyframing the camera lens. It's automatic named by Blender. Okay, so this is named by Blender. There's other things we can do. We'll get into this a lot later. How you can actually change names, add different functions to it to do even more later on. Okay, so because we're getting a little bit long-winded in our video, I'm going to go ahead and finish this one up. And so that way you at least know how to do that. So now what we're going to do is connect both bricks. Now sometimes you can do it this way, other times you can't. There was one time it didn't work right. It just I tried and tried. You actually have to put an and actuator up here and then be done. You know, once you got all that, you can minimize these to do it if you notice that each one has a name, we talked about this before, okay, you can name these if you want. Whatever you want, doesn't really matter, okay, as long as you are not going to use these in Python or use these in some other logic break thinking, you know, you want to name these because what's action? If you've got 5 actions, let's say action and action 001, action 002, so on and so forth, you're not going to know which one's which. If you're using keyboard shortcut or keyboard keys, you know, if it just says keyboard, you're not going to understand what it is. It's going to say keyboard 1, 2, and 3, unless you're, you know, have a very good memory, which you won't need my videos for that. You know, you want to kind of help you out, okay? The logic brick can be seen in, well, in the book, in the figure 4.32 if you want to look. Same exact thing I got right here. There is really not much to it other than to make sure that the animation plays once after you run the game. Okay? If the fast zooming of the lens still doesn't make everyone dizzy, it's time to animate the rotation. It's good to remember that while the rotation is a property of the camera object, the focal length is part of the camera data block. As such, these transformations are stored in independent actions. Thus, we will need to create a new action. Through keyframing the camera rotation, and set up a new action actuator, okay? So, we're going to go back to keyframe 1, okay? We're going to select the camera object, which you already have. With the mouse over the 3D viewport, invoke the keyframe menu, I key. So we're going to hit I, okay? And select rotation. Now this time we're going to hit rotation, okay? Now we could do these both together, but that's a different tutorial, so we're going to work with this right now, okay? So, okay, now we're going to do the rotation, okay? So, let's see, advance 5 frames. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Change the camera rotation along the Z, its local Z axis by 60 degrees. So we're going to go rotate 60. I don't want the Z60. Rotate Z 60. Okay. So if you press R and Z, and then add 60, hit 60, then it will turn your screen like this. Okay. And then you're going to keyframe the rotation again. So keyframe the rotation. So you're going to hit I, rotation. Okay. Repeat the previous steps until you get to frame 30. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go 5 more keyframes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna hit rotate Z 60 I rotation. Okay. Do the same thing again. We're gonna go up 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to hit I. We're going to hit, nope, not going to hit I. I'm sorry, my bad. We're going to hit rotate ZZ 60, and then we're going to hit I, rotation. Okay, do again. Oops. 20. We hit rotate ZZ 60. Enter I, rotation. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna hit rotate ZZ 60. Enter I, rotation. And then we're gonna finally get up to frame 30. We're gonna hit rotate ZZ 60. Enter I, rotation, and that will give you the full rotation. It won't do it here. Oh, that one will, but the other one doesn't. So it's gonna spin really fast. Okay, so now we've got that all set up. says, okay, until you get, repeat the previous step until you get to frame 30, which will complete a full loop of 360 degrees. Create an action actuator, change frame range from 1 to 30. So we're going to create another action actuator. Okay, we're going to go from 1 to 30. We're going to come over here. Now there's going to be 2. Okay, so you go to camera action. We'll do that. I think this might be a little bit different. I think they actually made it to where all you have to do is 1 because it made it underneath the same animation. We're going to go ahead and turn that one off and just see. And then we better leave both on just in case. I know me, I tend to think so. Okay, link the AND controller to this actuator. Okay, now the pre-tutorial camera actions blend is where you can find this done automatically for you, so you can look and not have to fight with it. If you don't want to have to fight with all this, you can actually just go to it and see how it looks. Now, if I come up here and I hit play, okay, he spins around, but he doesn't do the other thing. Why not? Go back to 1. Let's hit I. Location, rotation. And then go here. And then focal length to what? For some odd reason, it's not working too great in this. So we're going to go to 10. Okay, so let's put it at 10. Right there. Okay, and then we hit play again, location, rotation. See if that works. For some odd reason, I can't get that to work, but in the other one, it will work just fine. I don't know why it's not working in mine. I should do this in 2.79. I may do that next week because some of these tutorials are not working right in it. So we'll just go from there. Let's finish this up. Let's go ahead and finish this up for right now. You can get this final file in pre-tutorial camera actions.blend. Okay, so look in your file folder and you can get it. This effect is a bit annoying if you play the file multiple times to test the animation, as you will soon. So this spinning camera is not included in the base file you will use for the actual tutorial. If, however, you want to bring the camera along, you can append it into your other files. All the logic bricks and actions linked to the camera object and camera data block will follow the Blender object. Okay, so if you link this camera into a new file, you will actually have it do whatever that one is. Okay, so with that being said, let's switch out of that. Okay, so we're going to end off with animation cycle tutorial. We're going to go with that next week. I think I'm going to go ahead and go to regular Blender, come back out of UPBGE for the moment because for some odd reason my UPBGE is not working right. I may have to get the updated version if they have an updated version, and we'll go from there and try to see if we can fix this and get it to work right. But if you look at the file in the files folder will have the actual working one. If it doesn't, leave me a comment, let me know, because it could just be mine. It may be UPBGE. You might have to try it out in Blender 2.79. They do have a nightly build. You can go to their website, which is also in the description, and go to previous versions, and you can see that they actually have a nightly build for 0.2.9. It's not being worked on anymore, but they still have it. It's called nightly. Okay. They don't do any more work on it. The last time it was like 2021, I think, something like that. But that will at least, you can test it out and play with it. But that's basically how you animate the camera and how you animate things to work in the game engine. So, till next time.